we're going to talk about Transformers Age of Extinction today. I've got notes on it because that movie frankly sucked that bad. First thing we'll touch on is going to be the good parts of the movie. The few things that are good. Kelsey Grammer's good. He plays typical asshole, about as good as anybody, I guess. And then the Dinobots, the design of the Dinobots was pretty cool. They did some damage and such. They didn't talk, of course, and everything. And everybody's all bummed about that. That doesn't bum me out too much. But that's about all the good things about that movie. Now we will delve into all of the horrible things about this movie. This movie really sucked. And I love Transformers. I've been watching them from the start. They're my childhood heroes, all that good stuff. But this movie really put a dagger into all of that. First thing we're going to talk about is going to be the fact that Optimus is turned jaded, and all these things that have happened to him have turned him into an asshole, and he hates humans and blah 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 blah, and he's crying and such. Get over it. This is Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime from the cartoons, Optimus Prime from the books, what have you. He's always the Rock. Now all of a sudden this guy just doesn't know anymore. They turned him into Shia LaBeouf, whatever the hell you want to call his name. That's pretty much it. He wasn't in the movie, but he was like cameoing as Optimus Prime, which kind of is ridiculous. But anyways, next thing we're going to talk about is Lockdown. He was actually a really good villain. He's one of the pluses in the movie. But the problem for me is in design, he actually looks more like Galvatron than Galvatron looks, which is pretty sad. Obviously, there's more spoilers ahead. I forgot to mention that earlier, but there are spoilers in this quasi-review here. Lockdown looked like Megatron. He should have been Megatron, which pisses me off. That's who should have been Galvatron. And then Galvatron, that guy looked nondescript as heck. And then, Transformium. All this is a excuse for toy companies to design crappy toys, and for Michael Bay to not have to pay a bunch of CGI designers and graphic artists, pay them money to have to figure out how to transform vehicles into robots, which is pretty sad. I mean, I don't know why anybody doesn't see through that crap, but that's what that is, which is sad because Transformers, that was what was cool about them. You had to figure out how to transform them, and now they're pretty much the toys. If you look at some of them, they're pretty much just Jack in the Box style, which is pretty ridiculous and stupid in itself. At the end, everybody's all happy. Galvatron announces that he's reborn and promptly is gone, and then Optimus just leaves off to space. Not even wanting to try to catch Galvatron because this guy is, such a bad guy, and he's roaming around Earth. But he's going to go chase after the quote-unquote creators, like he even knows what's up with that, which is ridiculous. Did I mention how Transformium really sucked? That really just got my goat. I mean, first it was The Matrix, and that was, in the first movie, that was the be-all, end-all, and then the big old cube that came from Cybertron, the Allspark or whatever. I mean, geez Louise. Every movie is something else. It's ridiculous. And then we come to Drift, a character that's from the comic books. Why couldn't this guy have been Prowl? Even though the design of this guy really sucked. I mean, having him be a samurai with a stereotypical voice and such, which is funny in itself. But why do they keep missing the big guys? They never put Prowl in the movie. They never put, Brawn. They never put any of the, Sea Spray, Warpath, any of the cool guys that we grew up with and as fans would love. They keep putting in these guys. I mean, Drift is from the comics. You're going to satisfy all the 10,000 people that buy the comics? Why wouldn't you satisfy the 500,000 to who knows how many people that actually watch the cartoon and have characters from the cartoon that they actually loved and such? But that would be too much, for Michael Bay's ego, I guess. Crosshairs looked ridiculous, man. That's all I'll spend on that one. He looked like... I'm not even going to get into that one. And then you have Stinger, this clone of a robot that's supposed to be a clone of Bumblebee, but he's not a clone. If you ever paid attention to Dark of the Moon, which I know a lot of people haven't because that movie sucks so bad, he's actually just the same design except for the head sculpt of Dino, a character from Dark of the Moon that wasn't popular and they never made a toy for and such. I mean, it's the same like model, the CGI model, whatever they use, it's that character, and that's so Michael Bay. I know people out there, all the fans have known that Bay used scenes from The Island and he put him into Dark of the Moon because he's that lazy of a director, and he sucks. The guy sucks. Michael Bay, I know he's making a lot of money in China and over here and such, but he's butchered this movie. This movie has no redeeming factor. I mean, it just really sucks, man. Bad. And then at the end of the movie, Optimus goes the way of the Wizard of Oz and goes like Dorothy, clicks his heels, and then he takes off into the cosmos, never to be seen again. Well, he leaves the humans with all these robots, and then he leaves the Dinobots. He's like, "You are free." Free to what? You're giant Godzilla-sized robots with, what you would think would be small brains from the way that they always put them in the cartoons and from the way they acted in the movie, and then you just have them run off into a mountain somewhere. What kind of damage are these fools going to cause? How could you just release like weapons of mass destruction? Be free. It makes no goddamn sense. And if you bought into that, and then that brings me to my next point. You have a guy who's a trained killer. He's standing on a roof across from his targets, who are all sitting in an elevator on this roof, all four in an elevator in an enclosed space with one door sitting out there where this guy can look in, draw his gun, and take aim and fire at them. He fires I don't know how many times, and he misses these people. Where did this guy get his license to be who he is? What crackerjack box did this fool find his license to kill at? He fires all the time, these bunch of times at these guys sitting in the elevator, and misses them completely. And it's like, you're a trained assassin, you take out Autobots, and you take out all these robots, and you're Mr. Billy Badass. And then you go out there and you can't hit some sardines in a can. You can't hit them, man. Really? I'm not going to get mad anymore. I already spent 3 days being mad over this, and I'm not going to be mad anymore. No one can do that to me. You can't do that to me, Michael Bay. You can't do that to me, Michael Bay. You can't. I won't let your ass. Anyways, let me look at my notes. Yeah. Oh, and then Marky Mark, he finds the human-sized gun inside the ship. Did I already mention that? I don't know if I did. But if I did, sheesh, ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. That's about all I had. Oh, and then you got the new Irish heartthrob for Marky Mark's daughter. And if I see another kiss in front of the sun again, I'll stab my own eyes out. I'll stab my own eyes out. Because I'm never seeing a motherfucking Michael Bay movie again. Because it makes me nauseous. You know what? I drunk the night before I went to see that movie, like, heavily. And I woke up the next day and I felt fine. And then I went to the movie, and I sat down in my seat, and that shit got me feeling nauseous, like hungover. And I'm like, man, what the hell? Only Michael Bay could fuck up my day like that. Which is, thank you, Michael Bay. And that'll do it. I'm done with that movie forever. I will never buy the DVD. I will never see it on TV. Finished. Finete. Whatever you want to call it. I'd like to send a shout out to my boy Dirt. My YouTube channel. Obviously, subscribe to me. If you don't like my video, put the thumbs down. If you like it, put the thumbs up. I'm available on Twitter at Benito at benvader.com. I believe that's where I'm at. Sometimes I don't know. But hey, que sera, sera, right? Uh, yeah. Follow me on Twitter. Like, dislike. Yeah, that's about it. And to all my Metal Militia buddies in my clan, salute to you. Happy 4th of July, people. Have a good one. And take care and God bless.